24-hour communication hub has been established in Cairo, led by negotiators from Qatar, the US, and Egypt to safeguard the newly brokered ceasefire in Gaza. The hub aims to address violations swiftly, with mediators working around the clock to prevent escalation. Yet, the peace remains fragile. Medics in Gaza have already reported casualties, claiming 8 people were hit by Israeli fire since the ceasefire began. President Donald Trump, whose envoy played a key role in brokering the deal, expressed skepticism about its longevity. While claiming credit for the agreement, Trump distanced himself, calling it their war, not ours. Despite his remarks, Qatari officials remain optimistic, citing his administration's critical role in securing the deal. The first phase of the agreement focuses on humanitarian relief. Over 900 trucks carrying essential aid and fuel have entered Gaza since Sunday, offering a lifeline to a region devastated by 15 months of war. However, trust between the parties is at an all-time low, with hostage exchanges and prisoner release scheduled to ensure accountability on both sides. But even as talks aim to stabilize Gaza, another crisis is brewing in the occupied West Bank. Israel's security cabinet has launched a significant military offensive in Jenin, targeting what it calls terrorist infrastructure. On Tuesday, the large-scale military operation in Jenin killed at least 9 Palestinians, including a child. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed the operation, named Iron Wall, involves coordinated efforts from the Israeli military, police, and Shin Bet security agency. Netanyahu described the raid as part of a broader campaign to counter Iran-backed militias. Palestinian groups including Hamas have called for escalated resistance, with local fighters engaging Israeli forces in intense clashes. Hardline Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich has framed the operation as part of a strong and ongoing campaign to protect Israeli settlements and settlers. Smotrich, who has long advocated for aggressive expansion in the West Bank, recently praised Donald Trump for lifting US sanctions on settlers accused of violence against Palestinians. He also hinted at new war goals, emphasizing security in the West Bank as a priority. The situation in the West Bank has been further exacerbated by violent settler attacks. Palestinian villages have been targeted in retaliation for recent shootings, with homes, businesses, and vehicles set ablaze. Human rights organization accuses Israel of using the Gaza ceasefire as cover for intensified operations in the territory. The United Nations has expressed alarm over the violence. Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for maximum restraint from all parties, while the UN Human Rights Office highlighted concerns over settler violence and escalating military actions. Jewish settlements in the West Bank, deemed illegal under international law, remain a flashpoint for the ongoing conflict. Meanwhile, in the US, controversy has erupted over comments by Donald Trump's nominee for UN ambassador, Ellie Stefanik, who endorsed Israeli claims to the entire West Bank based on biblical history. Critics argue such views undermine efforts towards a two-state solution, long seen as the cornerstone of American Middle East policy. As West Asia stands at a critical crossroads, with a fragile ceasefire in Gaza and escalating violence in the West Bank, the path to peace seems as uncertain as ever. As world leaders call for restraint, the question remains, can this delicate truce hold? Or are we on the brink of a renewed conflict? Bureau Report, India Today Global.